Just how do you improve on perfection? Well, that's a problem Porsche faced when it came time to revise the Boxster. Do you know what? I think they've only gone and done it.
The most obvious improvement is the new styling, which I think you'll agree is a lot more manly than before. Then there's the quality interior. If you go for the full optional leather, the Boxster feels just as posh inside as a 911.
Do you know what? It really is a lovely place to sit inside here. And needless to say, the driving position is perfect. The seats are low slung, that's what you expect in a sports car. But if you're small, you can jack them all the way up so you can see over the bonnet. Yet you can lower them down and slide them back far enough that if you're really tall, it never feels claustrophobic inside here.
The best thing about the Porsche Boxster has always been its fabulous handling. And thanks to a longer, wider and lower body, yes you guessed it, the new car is even better to drive than before as well.
With the engine sat just behind you and driving the rear wheels, the Boxster has perfect balance and you really can thrash it around a back road, even if you're not a particularly good driver, because there's just so much grip. It doesn't matter when you run out of talent either, because the well-judged driver's aids are there to step in to prevent a spin. And you know what? I think overall, this is about as much fun as you can get in a road car, and it helps that the brilliantly accurate steering is about as good as a modern power-assisted electric system gets.
The Boxster also offers decent comfort. Yes, the suspension is firm, but it's never jarring, while the optional adjustable dampers make it even smoother. What's more, with the hood up, there's not too much wind noise even when you're on the motorway.
Obviously, a car such as this is best enjoyed topless. You know what I mean. And the good news is, you don't have to pull over to take the hood down. You just pull this lever here and let it do its thing.
The whole process takes just 9 seconds to complete and can be performed at speeds of up to 30 miles an hour. Talking of speed, you can get the Boxster with a choice of two 6-cylinder engines, either a 2.7 or a 3.4 litre in this Boxster S model. There's not too much difference between their stats. The 2.7 litre can do 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds, while the S does it 0.7 seconds faster.
Actually, the two cars have slightly different personalities. The 2.7 is less powerful and you have to rev it to get the most out of it, but that actually adds to the fun on a twisty back road. However, the 3.4 litre is probably better for people who don't want to have to work so hard to experience that Porsche performance. It's also very well suited to the excellent automatic gearbox, though I'd always recommend the brilliant 6-speed manual because it's just more involving to use.
As well as being great to drive, the new Boxster is also pretty easy to live with because it's surprisingly practical for a sports car. As well as a reasonable sized boot at the back, there's another one under the bonnet. Storage inside the cabin is good too, thanks to some useful side door bins, a centre cubby, a decent glove box and some pop-out cup holders.
Overall, the new Boxster, it's an excellent car. However, I wouldn't be doing my job properly if I didn't manage to find a few problems with it, and I have. For instance, these heater controls, they're fiddly. The rear visibility, it's pretty bad even by roadster standards, and it's awful with the roof up. And probably don't need to mention this, but I'd avoid this hideous red interior trim because it feels as though you're sitting inside a mouth. Ugh. The biggest issue I have with this car though is the extortionate price of the options. If you want sat-nav, which of course you will do, you need the Porsche Communication Management System, and that'll set you back over £2,000. Yet despite having communication in the title, it doesn't include Bluetooth for your mobile phone. If you want that, you have to pay an extra 500 quid. The thing that really gets my goat is that, see that wind deflector? You'd expect it to be standard on a Roadster, but it's not. Porsche want you to pay extra for that, and do you want to know what they charge for this flimsy piece of plastic? £200. It's outrageous! Shame on you, Porsche. Shame on you. Fortunately, the car's surprisingly impressive economy does go some way to make up for those rather costly options. And anyway, you can't expect a Porsche to be that cheap, can you? Not even the entry-level model. Because if it was, everyone would have a Boxster, wouldn't they? Because, well, it's just so good.